What's up, SAS Squad? You're locked into season 2 of the Sport and Society Squad Pod, aka the SAS. We drop new episodes every 2 weeks to keep you in the loop on the biggest and boldest moments where sport and society meet. So gear up and get ready to dive deep into the stories that matter the most. As a quick reminder, this pod might feature some spicy language, of course, and bold takes. Please be mindful of where you are listening and when you are listening. All right, let's kick this off. I'm
Who you're
Wahida.
listening with.
All of that. Just be mindful of it. I'm Wahida here with co-hosts Arisan and Chelsea. How are we doing, SAS Squad? What's up?
I'm being mindful. I'm being
Mindful.
Are you mindful
I'm
of when and where and
I'm-
who
and what?
Yeah, and what and
why?
how. I'm coming to us from a car. I'm a car recorder today, so hopefully a tree's been
Committed.
down. We've entered stormy, windy season, and the one bridge and lane to get home onto the island that I live is blocked by a tree. So we're in a parking lot.
And
But
the gag is that it's like blue skies.
it's like
Do you know what I mean?
Calypso clear.
Yeah.
I did
Like,
not
it's-
see a cloud.
It's stunning, but it's a storm.
But deadly.
But deadly. That is fall in the Pacific Northwest. But I don't know. With that, I think it's time to get into our week's huddle. So I'm going to cover some of the sport and society highlights from the past 2 weeks, so
much
our
time.
listeners feel like they're in the know with the sport and pop culture, community.
Spock?
That's not the first time I've said spot, I don't think. Yeah, spot. Into the spot. And again, no deep dives, just the highlights so you know what's going on. And we're going to kick it off with the top sport moments. So, in baseball news, I've never been more excited in my life to say the Seattle Marinos, the Seattle Mariners, my is right. The Seattle Mariners kicked off postseason with a dramatic 15-inning walk-off win over the Detroit Lions to clinch their first ALCS berth since 2 Tigers.
The Tigers,
I'm so
the
sorry,
Cats,
you guys.
the
There
Wildcats.
was a Lions fight.
There was a fight.
Whatever. It was Detroit. Okay, there was
It was Detroit.
an animal out there, and the Moose from the Mariners took them out. We won. It was our first win to go to AL. I can't say it since 2001. And then they kept the momentum going last night with their first win over Toronto. So I don't know about you. I'm feeling good.
I did
We are
experience a
hyped.
little PTSD once we hit like the 12th inning because I sat and watched all 18 innings the last time we were playing. Ooh. But I felt like broken record. Every inning. I was like, okay, just get some bats. We just need some fucking bats. That's it. We finally got them.
I inadvertently became the biggest Mariners fan over the weekend because baseball is the most superstitious sport, I think, ever. And so I'm now not allowed to watch a Mariners game for the rest of the series.
Yeah.
Because the first full
rest
game
of
I
the
watched
season.
on TV, that was the first playoff loss we had. And then I didn't watch the next
second one.
2.
Yeah.
No, yeah, the next one. And then I accidentally watched the third one because I walked into a restaurant.
No, it was the fourth
and
one.
The game was the fourth
They
one.
won 2 and 3. And the fourth one is the one they lost.
That was my bad. I'm
Anderson.
sorry, guys. That was my fault.
You know,
And then I haven't watched the next 2, and they've won. So all I'm saying is I might also be a Netsy witch.
do not turn on any TV, radio, anything tonight.
I can't go anywhere either.
You can't.
Like,
no.
Good. I
people are
hope you're
playing it.
stuck there for 3 years. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
That's why that
I'm
tree
stuck in my
went
car.
down.
It turns out I'm just living in my car.
That's why the tree went down to
down.
stop you from any type of engagement. I will
Gotta
say
hang out in
also,
this
I haven't
parking
washed
lot
my
wherever you
Mariners
are.
sweatshirt. So
Me neither.
yeah,
I'm like,
I'm
okay,
in
I
on
have
it.
it with me. I'm ready to rock it for this game.
I will be wearing the same outfit to every game I go. So yeah, nonetheless, we're hyped in Seattle, rightfully so.
100%.
And then in WNBA news, the Las Vegas Aces swept the Phoenix Mercury 4-0 to win their third WNBA championship in 4 seasons, with Asia Wilson earning finals MVP honors after a dominant series performance.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
she
don't
just made
think we,
history.
yeah,
Huge.
Asia Wilson.
I don't think we expected anything different. Like Asia, it's
Yeah, but
rough.
like they had it's Asia, but like
They
because
did
the
have a rough
Aces turned their
start.
season around at All-Star,
hmm
they were at 500, and
Wow.
I think she's one of only two. She's the second player in both NBA or WNBA to have MVP, like league MVP, defensive person of the year, finals MVP, and a championship. Like it's like
Wow.
unheard of
Nice.
what she's done. So
But this year
Well,
was Coach
Goat.
Defensive Player,
Huge.
right? Not knocking it, but there
Yeah,
was a
but
lot of controversy around
Okay.
that.
yeah.
Oh,
hmm
okay. Well, maybe a future story
Ooh.
for me. This is a little old, but I feel like we have to talk about it. In football news, Mark Sanchez, a sports analyst and former NFL quarterback, was stabbed in downtown Indianapolis on October 4th. He was later arrested on charges that include battery and public intoxication. He's in stable condition as of early last week, but kind of what in the world? Like, I don't know. I
What in
read
the
that and was
world?
like, what?
Literally. I saw the headline that he had gotten stabbed, and then I was like, what? And then I saw the headline that he had gotten arrested. I was like, wait, what? So I'm reading through this whole thing,
So he done
and
started it.
yeah, I was like, okay, this man was the reason why he got stabbed. He was the reason why.
It was his
So,
fault.
Hi, I'm the problem.
Marcus,
It's me.
yes. Am I the
Mark.
drama? He's the drama.
Yes, he's the drama.
And watch him post it on his Instagram later listening to Cardi, you know. So, sorry, Mark.
Sorry.
Hope you feel better, I guess. In hockey news, the 2025 NHL season opened with a bang, and oh my God, the Seattle Kraken are off to a hot start. One of just a few teams, or like in the start. I mean, I know it's just like this weekend, but they are
Yeah.
one of just a few teams sitting undefeated, back-to-back wins, which
Nice.
I don't think we've ever done in our franchise history. So I don't know.
Y'all,
It was
I
pretty
think
cool.
it might be Seattle's year for everything. Like this past weekend, we were just
Wait,
talking
it's
about, right?
us.
It's us. It's us. Is it us?
Yeah, all sports teams
No,
won.
all the
Is it us?
sports teams won. Even the Rain, I
Oh.
think they didn't lose. They knotted up, so they like were not like eliminated
Tied.
from the competition. So I'm just saying it was a great week for sports, or weekend for sports in Seattle, and I feel like we need to continue doing this. I feel like it's just like
We
feeding. Like
have
the
to.
Mariners are winning, so like everyone else wants to keep winning.
Yes.
Like, love it.
Yeah, and
Go
like
sports.
I was watching the Kraken game on Saturday. First off, our Humpy from the Mariners, like I don't even know how to describe it, like sort of mascot. It's like a game that happens it's a game for the fans during the game. Humpy was at the Kraken game, and then half of the Kraken game they were just talking about the Mariners. Like that was all they were really talking about. It just was fun to see the city excited, like every game.
Yay.
And
Like,
Naylor had on his Kraken jersey Friday when they were celebrating. So it just was
full circle.
I couldn't be more happy. It feels like the world is
The Sounders
they
did
did the celebration, right?
Yeah, the Mariners dance after their win as well. Just love it. And after the after not the Seahawks game, but after the Husky game on Friday, all the fans, I think in the fourth quarter, were like, okay, we're gonna go sit in the terminal, like sit in the like just where the concessions are sold and watch the game. So that like we were already winning. The Huskies won.
Aw.
They went and go watch the rest of the Mariners game.
Aw.
Yeah. So
I love
Sweet.
it.
fun day, fun
I
weekend.
love it.
I love this, and it's sunny out, so we can't fucking complain.
I know. It
at
feels
all.
like the world is kind of like rewarding us or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to curse. I don't want to curse anything. But live, laugh, love. And then for our last sports
I love this.
highlight, it's kind of a crossover though. And
Here for
crossover
it.
with like tennis, sports. I don't know. Serena
SASS.
Williams' husband, Alexis Ohanian, publicly confronted ESPN's Stephen A. Smith on live TV over past comments suggesting that he would divorce Williams for her Super Bowl halftime cameo. So he delivered a sharp back about staying in his lane when it comes to marriage advice, and I'm sorry, I can't help but stand. Like, what?
Love.
I loved
And
it.
I can't tell.
Go ahead.
I can't tell if it went over Stephen A's head or if he was just like, "Oh, he got me. I don't know what to say." Because Stephen A always has something to say.
He didn't, because
shut his mouth.
He was like stuttering. He was like, "No, I mean, I would never, blah blah." And then at one point, Alexis was like, "Well, you know, the reason why I can invest and be a VC and give advice to billion-dollar companies is because I have run my own billion-dollar company." And Stephen A like admitted that he has no, like, not married, like, poor relationship. So it was like, stay in your lane, sir.
Just stay in your lane.
Yeah, stay in your lane.
Yeah. Well, I kind of love that to end our sports highlights. I'm going to kick it over to the society side of things. In movie news, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein will hit theaters on October 18th. I was like, what day is it? And will be available for streaming on Netflix on November 7th. So I'm kind of excited to see this. The cast includes Oscar Isaac and Jacob Elordi. Again, I'm not a huge Frankenstein girly, but it sounds kind of interesting. I'm interested.
I like those two actors, though.
I do too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's something exciting to look for. Right in time for the spooky season. In celebrity couple news, Nicole Kidman has filed for divorce from Keith Urban after 19 years of marriage. And I, for one, can say that I did not see this coming.
Same. I
was
don't
surprised
think.
by that.
Yeah. Well, and then I don't know if there's any truth behind this or like if there's anything to back this up, but I know that he changed his lyrics for a song that was originally written for Nicole for like his tour mate or something, his tour mate, or I don't know. There was a performance, there was another young artist on stage with him, and he allegedly changed the lyrics of that song that was originally for Nicole to say her name. So I haven't really dug into it. Chelsea, I don't know if you've seen anything, but rumors are swirling that he may have
let's trope harder.
had a wandering
like, can we trope harder a younger girl in her? Like, come
How
on.
original.
Yeah.
I know.
That was our Australian, like, power couple. Why do that?
I will say, I remember when they got together and I was like, really? That's surprising to me. But then they like stayed and I was like, it must be real. So maybe, I was always kind of like, I don't see it.
Arison called it about 18 years ago is what I'm hearing. She saw this coming.
She's been working on it.
Yeah. She's like,
well, she's been working. Yeah, an Etsy witch of her own.
Yeah.
I'm sending like good thoughts to Nicole. Their kids.
I think she'll.
I hope it just kind of. She will be fine.
I mean, his highlights are still stuck in 2000 whatever, so he can stay there. He can just stay there.
A little haircut.
It will be interesting to see what kind of rebrand we get from either of them. So, because we know that's going to happen too. But I guess more to come, listeners. In book and movie news, Emily Henry's hit romance novel, People We Meet on Vacation, is heading to the big screen, and the trailer just dropped. So I don't know if either of you... Yeah, I don't know if either of you have seen it, but if you haven't, check it out. It's teasing sun-soaked chemistry, best friend tension, and all the vacation vibes that we loved in the book. It's also never too late to like jump on the Emily train. Like Emily Henry, get in there. She's got a lot of books, and if this is just the start, this is about to be a very fun time.
I still need to read this book. My ADHD kicked in hard, but who's starring in the movie?
Oh my god! I think names? Tom Blythe. He was.
Oh.
Yeah, Tom Blythe. I think is his name. He was. What's his name? President Snow in.
Yes. The
Yeah,
other,
yes,
the other
he
evil
was.
one. Hmm.
What?
Isn't he President Snow?
He was, yeah. I thought
A
I was
young
saying
Snow?
Voldemort.
Oh,
Yes,
okay. I was like,
you're right. You're
Voldemort?
right.
There's no way.
No. I was like the other evil
And
guy.
then well, I mean, there's kind of a lot right now. I'm just gonna
Hmm.
say it. Real and fiction, nonfiction. I don't know. Um, the other thing I will say, I might just not know the girl who's cast as the main, but it
Okay.
looked really cute, and I
Mm.
think it's like gonna be on I think it's Netflix in January, so that's really exciting to me. So
Oh,
keep
it's a
an eye out.
Netflix movie.
I think so, from what I remember from watching the trailer. I've watched it twice. Um, I'm obsessed.
Let's go.
Anyways,
What is
in
it called?
TV news, People We Meet on
People We Meet on
Vacation.
Vacation. You should read the book
I-
first.
Yeah,
I'm
you
going
should read the
to.
book
Is
first.
you
Yeah.
have until
Have time.
January?
I know. I
Yeah.
have some time. I have
And
some
they're
time.
easy reads, man.
Yeah.
Nothing but
Yeah.
fun. Okay, anyways, in TV news, Michael the librarian, Jesus, will host the reboot of Reading Rainbow on PBS, bringing the beloved literacy show back with a modern twist.
I
Um,
love Michael.
I don't know
I
when
love
that's
him
coming
to
back. I probably should have
death.
included that in my notes here, but
I don't know Michael the librarian. Do I?
I don't know.
Would I?
Wahida, say it. What about him? You have a butt in there. I heard it.
No, but I love him. I think he was a
Oh, okay.
librarian, became famous on TikTok and I think Twitter. That's where I met him at least, was on Twitter. Just all good
That's where you
vibes,
met
just
him.
wanting kids. Yeah, that's where
You
I
guys
met
were
him
experts.
personally. Like we met him.
Yeah,
But
personally, we met it. We met on
just an
Twitter.
incredible
What a
spirit,
love
right?
story.
And I'm very excited that he is going to be he's the perfect person. I think they had to wait this long because there wasn't another person that could have filled these shoes. So, good job, Michael.
Yeah. It's
Mm.
exciting. It's cool that they're
Mhm.
I think it was the last time it aired was in like 2008 or something like that. So it's been a while.
When Keith
And God
Urban
knows we
originally got
need
his
it.
hair
So
cut.
yeah, it's kind of harking back to the
That-
like peak Keith Urban days.
yeah.
I blame Keith.
Those chunky blondes.
Nice, Keith.
I just kid. I kid. And then, okay, and I hate to end the highlights on a sad note, but I think we have to talk about this.
Yeah.
In sad celebrity news, Hollywood is mourning the loss of a Oscar-winning actress, Diane Keaton, who passed away on October 11th at the age of 79. She's leaving behind a legacy of iconic roles like Annie Hall, The Godfather, and my personal fave, The First Wives Club. But just rest in peace to an absolute legend. That was
Legend.
shocking news to receive
Oh,
this
yeah.
weekend.
Probably
So
the
yeah,
Very sad.
sorry to
only gray
end it
cloud from
there,
this
but
weekend. But wearing a mock neck turtleneck
Yeah.
in her honor. And the Family
Yeah.
Stone, like
Aw.
watching the Family Stone this year will not be the
Oh,
same.
I love that.
so good. Yeah, everyone
know.
watch that. It's not really a holiday movie, but it is, you know.
Kind of.
It
Yeah.
is,
I love that
yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Well, with that sad note, but again, Diane Keaton, I hope you're killing it up there, wherever.
Ooh.
Star power. Oh, killing it. Anyway.
She probably would have loved that
I'm
though.
thinking
She
of
would have
his
loved
name.
that joke. She would have loved it.
Oh, thanks. Just gonna put my foot in my mouth here. Today's story, we're talking all the things drama and kind of digging deep at what's going down in the WNBA. There has been some headlines about not just the contract negotiations, but what's going on with the commissioner and players, this and the commish, and all of that fun drama. So I want to do a little bit of deep dive and give some kind of history on that. What kind of sparked this was we all know from like last season and stuff is this year the WNBA opted out of their contract early. They could extend to 2027. It actually expires now to at the end of October this year. And one of the things they're fighting for is equal pay, different benefits, all of that good stuff. We know that's happening, right? So what kind of was in headlines was Nafisa Collier, who is a star forward for the Minnesota Lynx, and she's vice president of the WNBPA, so the WNBA Players Union. She, after the season, so after they lost, in a press conference after, publicly called out the commissioner, Kathy Engelbert, and called her like the worst leadership, had like the worst leadership in the world. And she also kind of had some very pointed things and called out stuff that apparently Kathy has said, like saying things like Caitlin Clark should be on her knees thanking the league for its like media's rights deal, and she wouldn't be making all this money, and how she just like doesn't care about the players, and just went to town. So that's worth noting. And so one of the things that makes this kind of powerful, and Nafisa talked about this, is, as you guys all remembered, Unrivaled that started. She started that with Brianna Stewart, and then her husband is the commissioner of that league. So she's also directly relating, like, hey, we've set up a league with player forward intention, and so we know kind of what it takes to run a league. There wasn't as much. The commissioner, Kathy, came back with like a kind of placid statement that it was like, I want my players to feel included, blah, blah, blah. They didn't really call that out. They then invited Nafisa for a meeting. Nafisa ended up not going. I think the only thing that Kathy really made a comment denying was the comment about, I didn't say that about Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
So that's all.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what's interesting here, and the backstory that I think is important, is how much the NBA still holds the strings of the WNBA.
Yep.
So the NBA owns roughly 60% of the WNBA. And that can even be a misleading number because multiple NBA owners invested directly in WNBA's 2022 capital raise, and 6 of the 13 WNBA teams are owned by their NBA counterparts. And then of the next expansion teams, 4 are run by NBA ownership groups. And so that means, as much as everyone can be mad at Kathy, she ultimately answers to the NBA commissioner, Adam Silver.
You know how much I hate
And
that man.
NBA owners, I know. So even if they replace Kathy left, the NBA would still be kind of the one saying who's getting replaced.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wow.
the biggest thing is not just WNBA fighting for equal pay. They're also fighting kind of there's this thing of like wanting to be out of the NBA's kind of shadow and umbrella.
Yeah.
Because even though the WNBA has never been more popular, record attendance, record views, all this stuff, they still are losing technically money. And the way that the revenue is distributed, like in 2024, they lost 50 million. And that's up from 10 million losses in past decades. And that's because revenue is distributed. 40% of league revenue goes to the teams and players, and the NBA and outside investors split the other 60%. And then under the current CBA, players only receive about 9% of total league revenue compared to 50% in the NBA.
That's wild.
And the WNBA has never shown players the hard financial data proving those like certain benchmarks haven't been met, and that's why we can't pay them. And so there's trust is broken. There's Nafisa had a lot of support from like Chelsea Gray, Asia Wilson, Mark Cuban tweeted out like how like and he's not as much like not the same ownership stake in like the Mavericks, but he's calling out the inequities in it. And when the WNBA was founded in 1996, it was fully owned and operated by the NBA. And that, in theory, gave the league legitimacy, but also long-term dependence. And today, the NBA still negotiates the WNBA's. They still do partnership negotiations. And some are saying that, like, that's how they can get better deals. I'm kind of like, at what point are we now, like, it's hurting the WNBA that it's still under the NBA. So that's kind of the setting the tone. But like, what do you guys all think about how the WNBA and all the comments that have been going down, do you think the NBA's it's beneficial to the WNBA to still be attached to the NBA, or do you think running the WNBA as an NBA subsidiary is
Yeah.
harming them? And what do you think should be like an expectation going into these kind of contract negotiations? So things aren't going well, you know. I wouldn't be surprised
Yeah.
if they do a
Strike.
Like a full
Yeah.
pause or something.
strike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A pause? What the
Ooh.
hell are you talking about?
Oh, pause. Which is like a strike.
Just
We pause. We aren't
full
working.
stop. Yeah, we're not
We're
gonna
gonna
work.
call it a pause, a timeout.
Yeah, time out.
Wahida,
No,
I'm
not a good.
leaning
I know.
towards you,
I'm like,
and then
I know she has
I
all the opinions.
I
have
have
so many
thoughts,
thoughts.
but they're not informed. So I'd like to hear
No,
from you
yeah.
first.
Well, I can't say I'm the most informed when it comes to like business decisions, but seeing as the league, the WNBA has been under the NBA for what now, 2 decades? Three? How many decades?
hmm
96, you said it started?
Then
Yeah.
So for
96, 97. Yep.
Yeah. So for nearly 3 decades, like I think at this point, any organization should be mature enough to, you know, either branch off or completely kind of run independently, especially given how successful it's been in the last few years and how like the projected success is going to look like given the expansion and all of the big names around women's basketball. Like that's just becoming culturally a bigger, conversation. So I feel like
Yeah.
the fact that Nafisa and Brianna and her Nafisa's husband started this league and kind of showed how successful an independent league can be. Like there is a like desire for more WNBA. Like we want more games. We want them to get paid, obviously, while we're playing. We want them to have, appropriate facilities
Yeah.
and everything. But that's not happening because they are being controlled by an entire different league.
Yeah.
You already know how I feel about Adam Silver. Like he already is running the NBA into the ground in my like from my perspective, in that he's trying to do like we call it doing the
Freak.
most. Like he's just doing the most and he's not actually paying attention to what I think players want, players
We call
need. He's doing the most. Like he's trying to expand it into, an international kind of league. Bless you,
Yeah.
girl. Bless you. Um,
Yeah, we tried.
but
Yeah.
that's where I'm coming from. Like I don't really understand super intently the business side of things, but seeing as they have not had as much growth as you would expect for a league that's been around for 30 years, I feel like it's detrimental to them. I think the other thing that I would like to call out is
Mm.
while Kathy is kind of like a puppet, if you will, because she reports up and like rolls up to the NBA, she still is the most influential and powerful person in the WNBA. So if you aren't able to advocate for your players
Yeah.
in the position that you have, that's seriously a problem. Like the way that she, I think, has
Yeah.
approached her responses to everything was very defensive, and it was not necessarily like, I want to make this work because they are the reason why I have a job. But it's more so,
Yeah.
like they should be
Yeah.
thankful that we give them a job, which is really interesting to think about.
Yeah.
Which is
Which we know
okay.
is problematic.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm not a business expert in any way, but I guess if I'm understanding this correctly, it sounds like basically like it's in the best interest of the NBA for the WNBA to be successful, which is like if they're ultimately the folks controlling it, they would also want it to be successful too. So and they've probably got like bigger pockets to reach into. Say they're like, I don't know, say we hit Steam. I'm just throwing this out loud. I don't know if this is true in any way, but say the interest in WNBA just keeps going, and then we hit pandemic year or something, and nobody can go to games, and then you're just in the outs. Like from a business point of standpoint, they don't. I just see like they'd want to have deeper pockets from the NBA to pull into to just like keep this league going, not have to like threaten like just canceling a season or something. I don't know. I'm just thinking about it that way, but I'm like, could there
Yeah.
not be a situation in which like this contract negotiation season they talk about like splitting that up, like, okay, we're gonna have majority investment for the next 2 years, and then it will switch to this percentage and 3 and this percentage. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, could there not be like a pronged approach to like moving it away so that like from a business standpoint, it feels less risky, but it's also getting the players and the league what they want? Like ultimately and most successfully? Like, is there not a way to do that?
One of the
Sure
big
there is.
negotiation things that the players are fighting for is they are asking for a contract or having a pay model where instead of, negotiating an X percentage of pay increase over so many years or whatever, it's like based on success of the league so that they don't get stuck, which they did this last time where they negotiated and then all of a sudden all these things were booming and then they weren't seeing they personally weren't seeing the increase in pay because they negotiated a set amount versus like a percentage based on like success or revenue of that. I mean, like you're talking about WNBA's players can't make money off they weren't
It's
making money
insane,
off their
yeah.
jersey sales. Like that's crazy. And I think what's interesting, because this is where there's this idea of like, shouldn't the NBA, like you said, NBA want the WNBA to be successful.
Yeah.
And the way that it was set up and like treated, it was treated like you should just be thankful that you're even having a league. Like it almost like I don't know if this is true, but it's
I feel as
almost
though
like we have to do it because people are going to be mad because there's not a women's league. So we're like, we're just doing it over here. So we're not putting in the resources properly. We're not building it because it's like you could
it's like
put
a
investments in where you're
here.
going to lose money at the beginning. Yeah, but you could do that at the beginning and like, pay the players well, do all these things, set up great facilities, but they set it up in a way that like, okay, we're not paying you. You don't have good facilities. And then we're going to say, well, see, this is why the WNBA is not great because they're not making a bunch of money, but we're also not investing properly for that. So it sometimes feels like I would
But
like
that
to
just like
see
doesn't make sense now though, because they are
no.
seeing it just go through the roof. That's where I'm like, what is
Well,
the
and they want to
disconnect now?
they want to
I
hold
don't
on to the control. And so I think that's where the fight is happening
Oh,
of like,
Jesus.
and I don't think the NBA needs it to generate revenue because they already have, you know what I mean? Like it's okay if the WNBA doesn't like bring in as much money. They don't need to invest in it because they're going to be fine. Like the NBA has taken off so much. But to Arison's point, I really think like the WNBA generates money, yes, but I don't think the NBA it's not as high risk for the NBA to just say like whatever. They can kind of like fall apart. It wouldn't matter because we are still going to be fine at the end of the day. So to Arison's point, it's really about control. It's just a man trying to keep the woman down.
yeah, that's what it feels like. So it will be interesting to see because at the same time too, I think they added more games. They're going to continue to add more games. They're adding more seasons. We had like crazy amount of injuries. And then, you had Adam Silver saying shit like, well, Kathy and Steph, now it's gotten personal. And it's like, fuck yeah, it's personal. This is their livelihoods and like their pay and like these are their bodies they're literally putting on the line. So it's like when people are like, well, you made this personal, it's like, how is it not personal?
Well, and
And
I'm sorry,
yeah.
the Kathy thing, like I know that she's not pulling every string and I'm sure she's frustrated in whatever way that she's frustrated. But to like say that to just come out with it like, well, you should be happy of a job. When has that ever been how you get bridges built? And like when has that ever been a like unifying statement? You should just be happy that I provide you something. Like, oh, okay.
Kathy, you don't
Thank you so
provide.
much. I don't care if
Kathy,
I'm barely paid and that I break my leg. Like,
Kathy, you wouldn't have a job if they didn't like if they weren't playing the game.
I don't
okay,
know.
so
Yeah.
what do we think's gonna happen?
I think the players I love that they're standing on business and they're not about to get like pushed around. They see how much the WNBA has grown and is going to continue to grow. And
Yeah.
so I hope they hold out and I hope that I mean, a lot of folks have said this, like this is, I think, a pretty monumental year and this could be a big shift in how the players are treated and just the NBA in general is managed. from this
Yeah.
contract negotiation. So I'm rooting for the players, and I think they've got really
100%.
strong leadership. And that's one thing with the WNBA, as much as it's rivals, that they support each other and like they're on board with each other on this. So
Yeah.
it will just be interesting to see how it kind of plays out. And I wouldn't be surprised if Kathy's not in leadership very much
Oh,
longer. But we'll see.
yeah. I think
We'll
the
see.
rumor is that, or the hope is that it's Lisa Leslie steps into that position. Yeah. Which would be exciting. I mean,
Wait a
right?
You
It's
would
a players'
think
league. It would be
she's a
great.
girl. Now talk about being a girl's girl. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll
I would
see,
love
I
but
Lisa
know the
Leslie.
name.
I mean,
Legend. It's okay.
legend.
Legend.
Oh,
Yes.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I know
Yeah.
her.
So like that's the hope, right? Folks are like, okay, well, once Kathy's out,
Yeah.
because she's gonna
Will be
inevitably
cool
be
as
out.
'cause sorry.
Yeah. Like it'll be a players' league for sure, because
Yeah.
she has that background, that experience too as a player. So
Wow.
I
Yeah.
know we
Yeah.
had all this conversation. We were talking about, Kathy and fucking Adam Silver, fucking evil man. But
Yeah.
I do want to acknowledge and just shout out, like you were saying, Eris, and all of the players were backing them, of course. Like they have really like stood on their ground, like 10 toes down on what they believe in, especially Nafisa,
Yeah.
being in the
Yeah.
position that she is being in, like starting the new league and then leveraging the platform that she has. She doesn't have to do that, and especially as a Black woman in the league, like she said, you know what, this is not right, and I really appreciate that. And I think I read somewhere that there's like history, like her family has history of
Yeah.
using the platform in a very similar way. So kudos to Nafisa, kudos to all the people behind her too. I think this story is just unraveling, but that I think is going to be a wrap for us today. Let us know what stories you want us to feature for future episodes in the comments on YouTube.
It's almost unraveled, not unrivaled. Anyways, do not forget to hit follow and subscribe to our show on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple. And please freaking turn on those notifications so you can stay up to date on all of our future episodes and society stories. I don't know.
And also, please don't forget to rate the pod. In the meantime, stay sharp, stay sassy, and we'll catch you later.